We on? We're recording? Cool. Hello everybody and welcome back to the 50% Doctor Who podcast, a place where you'll leave feeling just a little bit better about yourself or your money back. I have a little bit of a bone to pick today with the world, the community, social media. If there's one thing I fucking hate, it's when on Facebook or Instagram, mostly Instagram, we see people posting about the year that's just gone by. And that year in question right now is 2023. Posts about 2023, they make me a bit sick. Who wants to see a caption of 2023 was filled with really high highs and really low lows? But you know what? At the end, I found out so much about myself and I'm so much stronger at the end of it. Maybe it's a picture of you at the beach, a picture of you and your partner, a picture of you and your family, friends, your dog, your feline friends, maybe some food that you made that you thought, hey, this is worth sharing, that's really interesting. Food, we all eat food, don't we? You like food? You want to see a picture of food? I fucking don't. Listen, I'm a YouTuber. If I'm gonna rip off some Instagram or Facebook bullshit, it's gonna be done doing this. You know, if I'm gonna get some sympathy from the internet, I want it to be done through a platform that I really love and respect. I'm kidding. YouTube. You know, maybe I was a bit harsh, okay, on the people who say 2023 was filled with the highest highs and the lowest lows, okay? I can relate a little bit, I can. I'm gonna say it too. I'm gonna say that 2023 had a lot of highs and a lot of lows. Mostly a lot of fucking lows, okay? I'm gonna be honest. This is my year in review. The 50% Doctor Who podcast 2023 in review. We started off the year with our New Year's video. Now, we filmed this during Christmas time, you can tell by the set, but Aiden was going away to New Zealand and we needed to film a video and we're actually hungover in it. I like the part where I grab the Ernie the Elf and throw it off to show that it's no longer Christmas. It's a bit of comedy by me there. Next we have possibly one of the biggest videos that we've ever done. This is the Trial of the Time Lords review with Josh Snares. Now, Josh messaged me in 2022, I think around October, and said I'm coming to Perth to film this short film, this Dalek short film, The Might of the Daleks. So this was January 2nd, so literally just the second day of the year in 2023. I drove to go pick up Josh from the set where they were making the movie. I got to go on the set, which was really cool. I got to see the Dalek, which to this day, it looks incredible. That whole short film is... just calling it a fan film is disrespectful. It's actually incredible. It's so incredible that you have to see it to believe it. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. But we didn't have the studio, so I had to go to Dan's house. It looked like we were filming on the set of Doctor Who in the 80s. Yeah. It was a good episode though, and then literally we finished, I drove Josh to their hotel, and then that was it. Now, this is the part of the video when the suspenseful music comes in, okay? And this is gonna happen twice in this video, and it's already happening already. It'll happen one more time after this, but let's have the suspenseful music playing in the background. Okay, you ready? A little louder, please. Look, just a little bit, thank you. I got dumped. No. Yeah, okay, I got dumped 5 days into the year. Bit of a kick in the teeth, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I remember filming that Josh Snares video on the 2nd and being like, this year, 2023, I can't believe how good it's gonna be. I'm even like shocking myself about how great it's gonna be. And then yeah, 5 days in, I'm like, oh shit, I'm single again. Now I'm much better and in a much better place. But at the time, I was like, it was horrible, actually. I know I'm joking about it now, but at the time, it was really bad. And the reason I'm telling you about this is because it affected my work with YouTube videos, and I can prove it with this next video that we're talking about, Sharda with Dan. Now, this is the first video I made being heartbroken. I don't think I address it, but I think you can tell I'm just not really in a great place, but I really do like that video. I think when it all came cracking down was when we did that 60 of predictions video with Crispy. Now, Crispy, the sweetest guy on earth, was so kind, but I had some strange bodily functions going on that night because my body, I think, was still going through shock of being broken up with, that it was coming out both ends, whilst we were filming the podcast, which means I had to kind of like stop recording, run to the toilet and come back. Particularly at the end when we finished and we were wrapping up, I was trying to wrap it up really quickly. I'm not sure if you can tell, because literally when we finished recording with Crispy still on the Zoom call, I said, I'll be right back, and then ran to the toilet and nearly died. But Crispy's the sweetest guy on earth. We had a very nice chat afterwards. It really helped. Seriously, I love that guy, and Crispy and Josh were just so kind to me last year, for sure. Alright, now, while this was all happening, you know, me going through heartbreak, Aiden was eating fucking Nutri-Grain in New Zealand with water.
The popping sound you may or may not hear is my Cocoa Pops, which is actually Cocoa Pops and water, which sounds disgusting. I've not tried it yet, but our milk was off, so I guess that's what this has come to.
As the time of recording this as well, Aiden is gone again. He loves to go this time of year. He's now in Japan. He came back and we reviewed the pilot. And I'm not gonna lie, just going back to the regular podcast schedule was just like, it was just heaven on earth, because he left. I had to run the show for 3 weeks by myself. I didn't have a studio. I'm pretty tech savvy, but not as tech savvy as him. So having him back was just, Knock Knock was our 150th episode, which is actually really cool to mention, because the last episode of 2023, the Church on Ruby Road review, was our 200th episode, which is pretty nuts. Aiden's Who is Neil Patrick Harris playing in Doctor Who. That video is funny. Just looking back now, because the 60th has obviously come out, and it's like, you know, looking back now, it's pretty funny when he thought he was going to be playing the Candyman. The old reviews. So the old reviews were getting posted to the channel. That's because back in the day, we just filmed through Zoom and there was no footage. They weren't uploaded to YouTube. They were just on Spotify. So we were slowly just uploading them every couple of days just to get updated. So literally there was like 50 old episodes to re-upload, and that was getting posted like every couple of days. The Extremist review. Okay, this is when I went to Pemberton. I went away to work about 4 hours away from where I live. I was still just dealing with my own shit of like being single and just being away from everything. It just didn't feel right, and having to like come back for the weekend for like 2 days, it just wasn't nice. I think it's just an interesting time to bring up. Like the Empress of Mars review that we did with Vinny. Love Vinny, one of our great friends, one of the first people to ever watch the podcast. I recall that episode, I drove like 4.5 hours from Pemberton back to Perth, and then got home and then went straight to filming with the episode with Vinny. And I was just dead. It was way too much for me. The World Enough in Time review was pretty funny because we had to leave the studio because the rain was just so bad, like you couldn't hear the audio. It was fucked. This is one of the only times we have filmed outside the studio. Twice Upon a Time with Crispy and Josh. Now, a lot of time had passed since my mental breakdown. Am I out of focus, you fucker? No! This is some next level fucking bullshit. Yeah, this just felt like everything we worked towards, and it was really beautiful. I love that episode. It's probably one of my favorites. Probably my second favorite. The 100th episode would be the top, and then it'd be that one. I like that meme where it's like they're all the Australian in the white shirt. It's good. Woman Who Fell to Earth. This was the beginning of the end. We only had 2 seasons left of the Rewatch podcast. We were still going to continue on. Like, yeah, I am here now, but you know, it was the beginning of the end. That's for sure. Ghost Monument with Dylan. Dylan is the first person ever to watch the podcast and support it, so we love them. Arachnids in the UK with Chrissy from the Madmen with a Box podcast, with Pixel and Jimmy, unless he fucking quit again for like the 100th time. I love Chrissy. He's like the big Finnish man. I think Arachnids in the UK is a horrendous piece of shit, but it's also kind of fun, even though it fucking sucks. Trailer reaction for the 60th. Yeah, I did reactions this year. I was a bit lazy when it came to them. I remember I filmed a reaction video for Church on Ruby Road and never posted it. Just because I think I like doing reaction videos, but I think I overdid it a little bit because it's just an easy way to get views, but it's really fucking lazy. I will still do them, but I just don't think I'll do them as much as I did last year, because I think it's just lazy content, personally. Sorry if you do them. I'm not trying to shit on you. That's just how I feel. I mean, I did it too, so. Who to be buried with? Faries. This was a big get. I've been watching Faries for a long time, and I've always really liked him. He just says what he's thinking, and I really appreciate that, especially for like a big dog YouTuber. you know, I really respect that. And having them on the podcast was great. I think Aiden reached out to them and just said, hey, you know, do you want to come on? And they said yes. I was quite surprised, but, you know, they said yes. They went on Who to Be Buried With, which is a pretty big show that we do. Yeah, we just ripped that idea off, and but people seem to like it. X-Man Xavier returns for Demons of the Punjab. I love Xavier. He's a loose cannon. You bring him on the show, he's very easy to go off on a tangent, and I love taking him off the rails and Aiden trying to put him back on the rails, and I just derail him. It's a lot of fun. It's always fun, and I love Xavier. He's an awesome bloke. He's been coming on for a long time, and he's always a great guest, and he always brings on tea now. RTD views our story on Instagram. That's right. Russell has seen my face and heard my voice, and I think he loved it very much so. It Takes You Away with Mike Honor. Yes, I love Mike from the Who Gives a Flux podcast. I did appear on the podcast, and then my family were having a domestic in the background. You could hear it on the mic, and it was incredibly embarrassing. And we only ended up filming one part of the podcast, and we were going to go back and do part 2, and it never happened. So Mike, if you're watching this, I'm happy to come back on and do it all again, because I love Mike. Awesome guy. Crispy Pro, Who to Be Buried With. Yes, Crispy Pro flew to Perth for us to interview Michelle Gomez. Flex. Yes, this is a great episode. I was incredibly sick while filming this, and so was Aiden. Fun fact, it was a cold and miserable day in Perth, and Crispy had arrived the day before. And this episode, this is one of my favorites. Just Crispy entering is just that whole intro at the beginning is just chef's kiss. Canon wise, next is the 50% final season trailer. This one we're going to be reviewing season 12, which was the final one for us to review for our rewatch for the podcast. It was a bit of clickbait to get you guys to click, because, you know, people thought maybe the show was ending and they were happy, but it wasn't, so they were mad. I like that trailer. It's really cute. Aiden showed me it, and I got a little bit teared up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm an emotional guy. It just happens. But that's when we dropped our Spyfall review, which had the interview with Michelle Gomez in it. And speaking of which, the Michelle Gomez interview. Yes, we went to Supernova, interviewed Michelle Gomez. This was all a bit, will it happen, won't it happen? It's all a bit messy. She was in between signing and then going to take photos, and we had literally 8 minutes. And we had to do the Crispy interview, and we had to do our interview. But yeah, that whole thing was insane. It was so quick. I was so nervous. I was sweating like hell. I looked really puffy in it. I hate how I look in that interview. I've lost a bit of weight since then, but I hate the way I look in that. And it sucks because everyone watched that video and some fucking website posted about it, and I was like, why? And all these fan accounts of Michelle Gomez are posted about it. I was like, why do I look so terrible? But it was a great feat for the podcast, and we could never have done it without Crispy. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. So that's why we love Crispy, and we'll continue to believe in the Crispy supremacy. The Crispy Pro vlog, this took fucking 10 years to edit. There's 7 different songs in it. I filmed over 4 days, and it's one of my favorite videos. I don't vlog a lot, so when I do, I want to make sure it's really good. And it was for Crispy. It was made for Crispy for his trip, and just a bit of a thank you for everything that he's done for us. So we go for our reviews of the final season. It's all going well. Now, remember how I said that music was going to come back in one more time during this video? Well, folks, get ready. Just a little bit louder. Good. Down a little bit. Good. All right. Are you ready? This is when shit hit the fan. Moving on. We did the classic reviews. Good Jesus. You know, this is before they were on BBC iPlayer and you could just use a VPN. I was watching them on fucking Daily Motion. It was a nightmare. I love classic Doctor Who, can you tell? I actually do. That's the thing. It's just just too much. You can't have too much of a good thing. 60th coverage, it was a mad time. It was crazy. A lot of shit going on. That's when we started the 60th pre-shows as well, which is the thing we've been wanting to do for a while. They were very popular, which is great. It's nice to have a bit of time. I love talking about things before they come out and then reviewing them and talking about things afterwards, which is what I implemented into my live shows. I would do the after review, and I would even do a pre-show with the live shows. That was a lot of fun. The live shows I started doing just before the 60th, they are super fun. It's very anxiety ridden, just because like I get super nervous going live because I'm quite a jittery person and I'm a bit nervous about what I'm going to say. It's so fun just to have everyone in the chat that watches the channel just like watching live and giving their opinions. And I love reading like the fans' opinions. It's great. It's super fun. It's something I definitely want to do more in 2024. And finally, our 200th episode, like I said at the beginning, the Church on Ruby Road review. It was the last episode before Aiden flew off to Japan. It's the end of an era in many ways, the end of 2023. Now, I'm going to say this. That year was fucking awful. I hated it. I hated every second of it. But now we're in sunny 2024. I just feel like I'm in such a better place now than I was. I look back at the life I had last year, and I think about the life I've got now, and any day of the week, I would rather pick where I am now. And I guess I'm just proud of myself. To have this outlet where I just get to come here and create, I can't express in the words how much that means to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because I love it. I really do, and it means everything to me.